Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to this Moneycontrol live. You're watching the closing bell with me, Yatin Mota. When it comes to the Indian stock markets, we had the Nifty, which ended almost 25 points lower. Obviously, there was an intraday volatility of nearly 150 points. So, from the day's high, the market dipped nearly 150 points to slightly recover in the last half an hour of trade. However, if you look at the Nifty Bank, the midcap indices, they were doing well. In fact, if you look at the Nifty Bank, it moved by nearly 300 points, and the midcap and small cap indices also were up nearly 0.8%. Clearly, the Nifty Bank was, propelled by HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, as well as PSU banks like SBI. So yes, there was some volatility. However, the Nifty Bank managed to hold the markets higher. Due to the volatility, obviously the advance decline ratio on the markets was nearly 2:3, which means that there were only 2 advances for 3 declines. When it comes to Nifty 50, the gainers, Divis Laboratories, and after a very strong quarter and good commentary, the stock moved nearly 3% in trade. Axis Bank, IndusInd Bank, and SBI were the gainers on the Nifty, so good move coming in there. Adani Ports as well as LTIMindtree were the other stocks which moved nearly 1% in trade. As far as top losers are concerned, we have Adani Enterprises, and it failed to enter the Sensex 30 as the market expected. However, Adani Ports made it to the Sensex 30, post which Adani Enterprises saw some bit of profit taking. When it comes to Wipro, Grasim, ONGC, all of these stocks saw some bit of profit taking. Today, ahead of earnings, we had LIC of India doing good volume, so we'll watch out for those numbers. When it comes to Nifty 500, we had stocks like Phenolics Cables nearly 15% higher in trade after a strong quarter. We had Glenmark Pharma, which moved nearly 10% intraday after strong management commentary about FY25 earnings prospects. In fact, they're expecting more than 2 times jump in the EBITDA because of cost efficiency and better margin performance. Probably that is the reason why the Glenmark shares surged in trade. What also were doing well is the stocks like JBM Auto, Ashok Leyland. Ashok Leyland, by the way, touched new 52-week high in trade today. AstraZeneca Pharma, Jubilant Foodworks, Persistent Systems, all of these stocks did well. On the flip side, we had stocks like PNC Infra, Cello, Schneider, Hindustan Zinc, all of these stocks witnessing some bit of profit taking. But today on our show, we have a very special guest. We have Ashish Baheti joining us from Pune. Ashish, good evening. Welcome to the show. When it comes to the stock markets, volatility is there, but we have a lot of stock action and markets, moving in a direction wherein a lot of FI short covering is seen in the marketplace. With the performance of the Nifty Bank, take us through the overall view that you see on charts when it comes to Nifty as well as Bank Nifty.
Good evening, Yathin. A good sector rotation is happening in Nifty, and we can clearly see mid-cap IT, and specifically IT stocks are now picking up, and they are supporting well Nifty, and so is the Bank Nifty. This was a clear underperformer for a very long time, but now started picking up, and HDFC today did to cross 200 MA, but somehow failed to close below it, but reaching above 200 MA, closing above will propel HDFC to new highs, and at least 1600 is the near-term high which we are seeing HDFC to move to. However, Bank Nifty looks strong on charts, and the way Bank Nifty is playing, I think 50,000 and 50,400 can be seen in coming weeks in Bank Nifty. One can go long in Nifty and Bank Nifty both. The stop loss which Nifty is required to keep in Nifty is 22,850 around Nifty, and similarly in Bank Nifty the stop loss which should be kept is 49,000 exactly. We think 50,000 and 50,400 can be levels can be seen in Bank Nifty.
Okay, Ashish, specifically talking about HDFC Bank and SBI, these are the heavyweights which have been trying to pull the Nifty Bank higher. Any view on these two stocks for the week?
See, both HDFC and in fact entire private sector banks are looking very strong now from here on, specifically HDFC, Axis and ICICI. So HDFC today did attempt to cross its 200 MA. I think the main crux would be the HDFC closing above 1540. If it sustains, able to sustain to close above 1540, we can easily see 1600 on HDFC. So one can go long in HDFC just by keeping a stop loss of 15.15.
Okay, so that's the view coming in on HDFC Bank, and the private sector bank is what Ashish believes could be the next momentum boys. Ashish, PSU stocks, REC, PFC, HAL, BEL, all of these stocks which are more liquid names in the PSU basket have been doing well. In fact, today PFC, REC have hit fresh new highs. Do you think there is further momentum on all of these stocks? Is there point chasing it, at this point in time, or probably this is like a move that we typically see in the expiry week?
No, I mean, both REC and PFC, fresh longs is not suitable at these levels because the risk reward ratio. But anyone who's holding longs or anyone who's holding the stock, I would suggest to continue doing that, but just by trading the SL. For REC, one should keep a SL of 555. The way the chart structured is, I think REC would breach 600 and can show 600 levels up to 630. Similarly, PFC is looking also very strong. Just by keeping a stop loss of 500, one can remain long for the target of 550.
Okay, so that's the view coming in on PFC, REC, as Ashish was mentioning. Slightly overbought stocks, and no fresh entry probably at this point in time is something that you need to watch out for. But clearly, let's talk about the stock in focus. As I was mentioning earlier, Glenmark Pharma, that stock moved to a new 52-week high on the back of strong management commentary. Now, Glenmark Pharma reported a muted Q4, but they expect FY25 to be a strong year. They expect the EBITDA margins to be in the range of 19%. And when it comes to the revenues, they're expecting revenues of nearly 13,000 to 14,000 crores. Now, if you do the math, you could probably see EBITDA for FY25 being projected at close to 2,600 crores, which is almost 2 times higher, than the FY24 earnings on the EBITDA front. More importantly, we have the debt levels which have significantly come down for Glenmark after the sale of Glenmark Life Sciences to the Nirma Group. Obviously, the stock opened slightly weaker because of the quarterly disappointment, but yes, probably the investors look at forward earnings and forward management projections, which probably took the stock 8% higher in trade. Let's take a technical view also from Ashish, given the fact the stock has moved 8% higher. Ashish, do you think there are more legs to this rally, probably for positional traders in Glenmark?
Breakout happened today. So we almost seen 6 million shares volume today in Glenmark, which is on an average, the volumes is close to 800,000. So the volume was at least 8 to 10x higher compared to even the delivery volume is much higher even in these levels. So I think the stock is well placed to breach its 12 or reach 1200. So one can even go long in any dip by keeping a stop loss of 1080, and the target should be kept in mind as 1200.
So 1200 is where the stock can probably look, on a good day. Right now, the stock ended almost 8% higher to a level of more than 1100 per piece. Keeping it with stocks, and Ashish, today the stock of Ashok Leyland also moved quite strongly in trade. The management guided for good guidance. More importantly, they are expecting the discounts to narrow and the overall price increase in calibrated manner that would help their overall bottom line. Versus Tata Motors, I think the demand in the buses segment and the truck segment was guided better by Ashok Leyland. Stock hit a fresh 52-week high. Right now, since the stock was underperforming slight bit versus other auto companies, do you think this stock can catch up the rally, especially with the kind of returns we have seen in the auto index?
Yeah, certainly. So many stocks in auto index, specifically selective stocks like Ashok Leyland, even auto ancillary like Motherson and Excite, are doing very good and looking very, the breakout is very healthy. So Ashok Leyland, the way it is moving, I think it can show even 240 on charts very soon. So one can go long or hold their long, and by just keeping a stop loss of 220.
Okay, so that's the view coming in on Ashok Leyland. As you can see on the screens, the stock ended almost at the day's high, trading above that 226 rupees per share mark. So good move coming in there. But Ashish, it's a week of heavy news. Thursday we have the monthly expiry. On Friday, the voting will get concluded, and we'll probably have the exit polls trickling in from Monday, and Tuesday is the election result. how do you position yourself as a trader? Would you probably clear off all the trades on this expiry, or would you like to carry some longs, probably in the PSU space or in the private banking space, in this volatility?
I think as a research analyst, we don't trade in our account and directly into the equity side, but yes,
Okay.
in positions we are having. Now the VIX being almost at 23 and intraday it touched almost 26. I think it will soar even from here. Last 2014 and 2019, both during the election time, VIX touched almost 30. So we expect the VIX to rise further in these 3 or 4 trading sessions. And a piece of cautious note is advised to all the viewers that stay light, considering not just the expiry and the election. We can expect a lot of volatility from here onwards, and stick to stock-specific moves, specifically sectors like IT and auto and selective banks, where we can see a good move on the upside.
Absolutely. So a good piece of advice coming in from Ashish. He's of the view that you need to probably stay light as a trader when it comes to the markets, because the volatility could be very high, and especially when the VIX is higher than 20, the volatility could be very large on both sides. It can be a sell-off, it can be a big rally. But yes, as investors or traders, you need to cautiously approach this event, because Tuesday, probably next week, you will have the election results outcome, which could fuel some bit of ups or downs in the Indian stock markets. Ashish, thank you so much for being a part of Money Control show today. We look forward to see you more often on the channel. Thank you so much. So that's the view coming in from Ashish Baheti. We'll take a quick break. We'll take you through the market action on our website moneycontrol.com. So stay tuned there, and tomorrow morning 9 a.m. Stay with us for the market opening and all the action on the last street. Thank you so much for watching Money Control.